Today is April the 4th. Who are God's children? Paul addresses this directly. Romans chapter 8, verses 12 to 17. So then, brothers and sisters, we're obligated not to the flesh to live according to the flesh. For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you'll live. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God. For you didn't receive a spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you received a spirit of adoption when we cry, Abba, Father. It's that very Spirit bearing witness with our spirit that we are children of God. If children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, if we in fact suffer with him, so that we may also be glorified with him. Paul continues the idea of living in the Spirit, living by the Spirit. But now he changes slightly. He fills out this concept by saying our former life was actually slavery to the law that brought about fear. The new life is a spiritual adoption. We are no longer slaves. We are sons and daughters. We are heirs. Throughout the Old Testament, there are not many references, but there are references to Israel as being God's children. Deuteronomy 14:1 says, "You are the children of the Lord your God." Exodus 4:22, as Moses goes to Pharaoh to ask for his people, he says, "Israel is my firstborn son." Hosea chapter 11, verse 1 says, "Out of Egypt I called my son, the nation Israel." At the very end of the Torah, Deuteronomy chapter 32, let's read the first 18 verses. Look at the number of times God paints himself as father to the nation of Israel.
Deuteronomy 32, New Revised Standard Version. Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak. Let the earth hear the words of my mouth. May my teaching drop like rain, my speech condense like dew, like a gentle rain on grass, like showers on new growth. For I will proclaim the name of the Lord, ascribe greatness to our God. The rock, his work is perfect, and all his ways are just. A faithful God without deceit, just and upright is he. Yet his degenerate children have dealt falsely with him, a perverse and crooked generation. Do you thus repay the Lord, O foolish and senseless people? Is he not your Father who created you, who made you and established you? Remember the days of old, consider the years long past. Ask your father, and he will inform you, your elders, and they will tell you. When the Most High appointed the nations, when he divided humankind, he fixed the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the gods. The Lord's own portion was his people, Jacob his allotted share. He sustained him in a desert land, in a howling wilderness waste. He shielded him, cared for him, guarded him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirs up its nest and hovers over its young, as it spreads its wings, takes them up, and bears them aloft on its pinions. The Lord alone guides him, no foreign god was with him. He set him atop the heights of the land, and fed him with the produce of the field. He nursed him with honey from the crags, with oil from the flinty rock, curds from the herd, milk from the flock, with the fat of lambs and rams, Bashan bull and goats, together with the choicest wheat. You drank fine wine from the blood of grapes. Jacob ate his fill. Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat, bloated, and gorged. He abandoned God who made him, and scoffed at the rock of his salvation. They made him jealous with strange gods. With abhorrent things they provoked him. They sacrificed to demons, not God, to deities they had never known, to new ones recently arrived, whom your ancestors had not feared. You were unmindful of the rock that bore you. You forgot the God who gave you birth. The Lord saw it and was jealous. He spurned his sons and daughters. He said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be, for they are a perverse generation, children in whom there is no faithfulness. They made me jealous with what is no God, provoked me with their idols. So I will make them jealous with what is no people, provoke them with a foolish nation. For the fire is kindled by my anger, and burns to the depths of Sheol. It devours the earth and its increase, and sets on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap disaster upon them, send my arrows against them, wasting hunger, burning consumption, bitter pestilence. The teeth of beast I will send against them, with venom of things crawling in the dust. In the street the sword shall bereave, and in the chambers terror for young man and woman alike, nursing child and old gray head. I said, I will make an end of them, and blot out the memory of them from humankind. But I feared provocation by the enemy, for their adversaries might misunderstand and say, Our hand is triumphed. It was not the Lord who did all this. They are a nation void of sense. There is no understanding in them. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would discern what their end would be. How could one have routed 1,000, and two put a myriad to flight? Unless their rock had sold them, the Lord had given them up. Indeed, their rock is not like our rock. Our enemies are fools. Their vine comes from the vinestock of Sodom, their vineyard from the vineyards of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of poison, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of serpents, the cruel venom of asps. Is not this laid up in store with me, sealed up in my treasuries, for the day of vengeance and recompense, for the time when the foot shall slip? Because the day of their calamity is at hand, their doom comes swiftly. Indeed, the Lord will vindicate his people, have compassion on his servants, when he sees that their power is gone, neither bond nor free remaining. Then he will say, Where are their gods, the rock in which they took refuge, who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their liberations? Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he. There is no God besides me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, and no one can deliver from my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and swear, as I live forever, when the whet of my flashing sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will take vengeance on my adversaries, and will repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, with the blood of the slain and the captives from the long-haired enemy. Praise, O heavens, his people. Worship him, all you gods. For he will avenge the blood of his children and take vengeance on his adversaries. He will repay those who hate him and cleanse the land for his people. Moses came and recited all the words of this song in the hearing of the people, he and Joshua son of Nun. When Moses had finished reciting all these words to all Israel, he said to them, Take to heart all the words that I am giving you and witness against you today. Give them as a command to your children, so that you may diligently observe all the words of this law. This is no trifling matter for you, but rather your very life. Through it you may live long in the land that you are crossing over the Jordan to possess. On that very day the Lord addressed Moses as follows. Ascend this mountain of the Abiram, Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab across from Jericho, and view the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites for a possession. You shall die there on the mountain that you ascended, and shall be gathered to your kin, as your brother Aaron died on Mount Hor, and was gathered to his kin. Because both of you broke faith with me among the Israelites at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, by failing to maintain my holiness among the Israelites. Although you may view the land from a distance, you shall not enter it, the land that I am giving to the Israelites.
Here in Deuteronomy 32 and verse 6, Moses asks, Is he not your father? In verse 10, he says, God sustained you. In verse 11, he says, God taught you to fly like an eagle teaches eaglets. In verse 12, God guided Israel. In verse 13, God fed Israel. But from verse 15 to the first part of 18, Jacob abandoned God in favor of false deities. So Moses says, the last part of verse 18, You forgot the God who gave you birth. God is your Father. Paul says we've got to capture that sonhood by submitting to God rather than submitting to the flesh. So what do we do about this today? Submit to God. Scripture reading from the New Revised Standard Version by Emily Herrera. If you live in the Greenwood, Indiana area and you're looking for a church, come check out New Hope Church. We're at 5307 West Fairview Road. Our Sunday morning service begins at 10 a.m. We would love to see you there.